Sarah lived in a quiet little town, and she had a secret dream tucked away in her heart. She wanted to be a runner. It wasn't something she'd ever done before. In fact, she'd always told herself, "I'm just not fast enough to be a runner." Watching other people jog gracefully in the park, she'd feel a little discouraged. Maybe I just can't do it, she'd think, and that thought would stick with her all day long. But one morning, something felt different when Sarah woke up. A little spark of determination flickered inside her. Today, she decided, I'm going to try. She found her oldest sneakers in the closet. They weren't fancy running shoes, but she didn't let that stop her. A mix of nerves and excitement bubbled up as she put them on. Taking a deep breath, she stepped outside. The sun was bright, and the air felt crisp and clean. She walked to the park, her sneakers padding softly on the sidewalk. When she arrived, she saw other runners already there. They were moving quickly and smoothly. Sarah felt a little slow just watching them, but she told herself, "That's okay. I'm just starting." She began to walk around the park path. At first, she just walked at a normal pace. She could feel her leg muscles starting to work. Her heart began to beat a little faster. She felt the urge to stop already, but then her dream popped into her mind. "Don't give up now," she told herself firmly. So, she kept walking. After about 30 minutes, Sarah was definitely tired, but a smile spread across her face. She felt good. She had taken the first step on her journey to becoming a runner. The next morning, Sarah woke up and her legs were definitely sore. She thought about staying in bed. Maybe I should just rest today, she considered. But then she remembered that good feeling from walking yesterday. She laced up her sneakers and went back to the park. This time, she decided to try jogging for short bursts. At first, her feet felt heavy and her breath came quickly. Her heart pounded in her chest, but she kept going, jogging a little, then walking, then jogging again. Over the next few weeks, Sarah was amazed at how quickly she improved. Soon, she could jog for 10 minutes straight without stopping. She felt stronger and healthier. Her legs didn't ache as much anymore. She was really happy with her progress. But then, one day, something unexpected happened. As she was jogging, Sarah tripped on a tree root she hadn't seen. She fell hard, and a sharp pain shot through her leg. She heard a sickening crack. Sarah had broken her leg. She had to go to the hospital. The doctor told her that she wouldn't be able to run for several months while it healed. Sarah felt so down. "I've worked so hard," she thought sadly, "and now I can't even run at all." For weeks, she was stuck at home. She couldn't walk, let alone run. She started to feel like giving up on her dream completely. But one sunny afternoon, Sarah was looking out the window and saw people running in the park across the street. Her dream flickered in her mind again. "I can't give up now," she thought to herself. "Not really, ass." After many long months, Sarah's leg finally healed. She started walking again, carefully at first. It was tough, but she didn't quit. She walked a little more each day. Slowly, her leg got stronger and stronger. Then, one day, Sarah felt a familiar pull. She felt ready to try running again. She put on her sneakers and went back to the park, her heart beating with a mix of hope and nervousness. Taking a deep breath, she started to run. Her legs felt shaky and a little weak, and she was quickly out of breath. But she kept going, one step after another. "Don't give up," she told herself with each stride. Over the next months of training, Sarah got stronger than she'd ever been before. She decided to sign up for her very first race. It was a 5K race, about 3 miles, right in her town. The day of the race, Sarah felt a wave of nerves. What if I can't even finish? She worried. But then she remembered her whole journey, starting with just walking, then jogging, then the broken leg, and the long recovery. I didn't give up then, she thought, and I won't give up now. At the starting line, Sarah stood among a crowd of people. Some were experienced runners, looking like pros. Others looked like they were new to it, just like her. The energy was buzzing, and Sarah's heart was pounding in her chest. The starting horn blew, and everyone surged forward, running together. Sarah started running too. At first, she felt great. Her legs felt strong, and her breathing was steady. But after a while, she started to get tired. Maybe I should just slow down, she thought. But then she remembered all the hard work she had put in. No, I can do this, she told herself firmly. Sarah kept running, focusing on putting one foot in front of the other. She could see the finish line ahead in the distance. Her heart was racing, and her legs were burning, but she didn't stop. "Don't give up now," she repeated in her mind. She pushed herself, running as fast as she could. Finally, she crossed the finish line. A huge wave of relief and pride washed over her. She had finished her first race. It hadn't been easy, but she had done it. After that race, Sarah signed up for more and more races. Each one was challenging, but Sarah always remembered to keep going, even when it got tough. She even started winning some smaller races in her town. The first time she won, she was completely stunned. Standing at the finish line, holding a small first-place medal, she thought, "I actually did it." Her heart swelled with joy. She felt strong, capable, and incredibly proud. She had come so far from the woman who was too scared to even start running. Sarah's biggest goal was to run a marathon. A marathon is a really long race, over 26 miles. It was the hardest race she had ever imagined doing. The night before the marathon, Sarah felt those familiar nerves creeping in again. Can I really do this? She wondered. But then, she remembered her entire journey again. She remembered the day she broke her leg, and how hard it had been just to walk again. If I could get through that, she thought, I can do anything. On marathon day, Sarah stood at the starting line with hundreds of other runners. It was a chilly morning. Her legs felt a little shaky, and her heart was beating fast with anticipation. When the race began, she started running at a slow, steady pace. She knew this race was going to be long, and she needed to save her energy. For the first few miles, Sarah felt strong and confident. But as the miles ticked by, she started to feel tired. By mile 20, her legs were aching, and she felt like she couldn't go much further. I want to stop, she thought. But then she told herself, you've come so far. You can't stop now. By mile 25, Sarah was exhausted. Her legs were burning, and she was breathing heavily. She could see the finish line, but it seemed miles away. Maybe I should just walk, she considered. But then, in her mind, she pictured all the races she had finished before, all the times she had pushed through the pain. She remembered how proud she felt every time she crossed a finish line. Don't give up, she told herself one last time. With the last bit of energy she could find, Sarah ran as fast as she possibly could. She pushed through the pain and exhaustion. And then she crossed the finish line. Tears welled up in her eyes. She had done it. She had finished the marathon. People were cheering all around her. Her friends and family rushed over and gave her huge hugs. "Ah! You did it, Sarah!" they shouted. Sarah smiled, a huge, genuine smile. She felt incredibly strong, unbelievably proud, and happier than she had ever felt in her life. She had never felt so alive. From that day on, Sarah knew, deep down, that she could achieve anything she set her mind to as long as she didn't give up. She continued to run races, always pushing herself, and every time she crossed a finish line, she remembered how far she had come. She had turned her dream into a real, amazing reality. Sarah became a champion, not because she was the fastest runner in the world, but because she was the runner who never ever gave up. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more stories, and share it with someone who might need a little encouragement today.